Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me at benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcast because People of Distinction is a nationally and internationally syndicated show because of listeners like you. Our shows are available across all major podcast distributors as well as YouTube. And if you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. We appreciate the support. Continue to like and follow and sit back and strap in because on the line with us today, we have Marissa Jewel Hess. We're going to be discussing her amazing book, Invincible. Part 1, Indestructible. Part 2, Indomitable. Now, the book is available for purchase through Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, pretty much all the regular online book resellers. But people, if you want to gather everything that Marissa has in store, do yourself a favor and head directly to her personal site. That's mjewelhstories.com. There you'll find more information on Marissa herself, more information on this amazing book, as well as find the hyperlink set up to take you to the purchasing pages. So one more time, that's mjewelhstories.com. And before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity and point out the fact that Marissa was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by one of the best advertising firms in the business. And people, you already know I'm talking about Orion Press. So for my writers out there who have written their masterpiece and now you need help moving the book you developed, give yourself the best gift you could possibly give and contact Orion Press. This is what they specialize in, people. Head on over to orionpressbooks.com today and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help move your creative endeavors. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Marissa here on the line. People, strap in, okay? Because this is an action, suspense, adventure novel that you're going to want to get lost in. You need a book to help pass the time on a rainy day. This book's got what you're looking for. You need a book that's going to help pass the time on a rainy day, but also has a wonderful underlying message to carry along with it. Yeah, this book has also got what you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, that underlying message you're going to be able to take to the bank is all about how your past experiences aren't a title, right? They don't define you. And I get it, people, because listen, you can't see me right now, but I've been victim to this as well. You look at some of your past experiences and sometimes, man, they're hard to shake, right? Sometimes you walk around, you carry it, and it's just a weight hanging over you that you just can't shake off, right? Well, people, listen, I'm here to tell you, and so is Marissa through this amazing book, your past experiences don't define you. They're not titles that you walk around with, and you're going to realize that within this amazing book because that is something her main protagonist witnesses themselves. This book has so much to offer, in addition to being something straight out of Hollywood. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if I saw this on the Hollywood screen one day, because it is something that offers entertainment in droves. This is one you're going to want to add to your shelf. Sit back, strap in. Marissa is an absolute embodiment of a person of distinction, and she's going to be able to articulate it all much better than I ever could. Marissa, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
Hi, I am doing really great. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, Marissa, thank you for being here, okay? You had to write this amazing book for us to extend the invitation, and we are thoroughly looking forward to this. I really do mean it. I think this book is something that has so much to offer. I love the underlying message, and also it's very entertaining, right? So you're going to be able to just get lost in the journey. Before we go into your book, let's start off by learning a little bit more about your background. And tell us, who is Marissa Jewel Hess?
Well, I grew up in a quite rural town in Pennsylvania as a middle child of a pretty large family. I have 6 siblings, so that's always entertaining, and I love my family very, very much. And I've always loved stories. I love good movies and shows. I've always been a reader. It's something that has, from the get-go, always been like a part of me.
Yeah.
And I'll have like quite a lot of friends and stuff that I love as well. So shout out to all of you guys. Love you all.
There you have it. Well, Marissa, I'm curious. We know about the background and where your interest lies. So I'm starting to piece together, and connect the dots. But what made this particular story worth being your first publication?
Well, this story started all the way back when I was in 4th or 5th grade.
Wow.
I would go outside and play stories outside and act them out in my mind. Like, I would imagine all the characters while I would be just the one character. And so some of the things that I played all the way back then are still present in the book today.
Fantastic. So this is something that's been in the work for quite some time.
Yeah, it never officially left my brain. And I actually, after going out and playing it, I would come back inside and write what I played, but I lost that. And so I decided to start again about 4 years ago. And then this book is the result, basically.
Love that. Well, Marissa, let's stick with your writing process here, since it's been something in development for so long, even if it's been off and on. This is something obviously that's been on your mind and in a constant development for a number of years. But can you share insights into the creation of your main protagonist in the book?
Since I first played her when I was way young, she does have a lot of resemblances to me. People who have read the book or are close to me have commented on that, actually. But when I officially started focusing on creating the character itself and adding, a specific character voice so that it would be distinct from the other characters in the book, I did try to base it more off of my mom, actually.
Oh. Marissa, follow-up question that I want to go into here. Now, of course, this was loosely based, or at least influenced, by your life, right? By your everyday circumstances that you had encountered. Obviously, this book is fictional, so there's been a lot of things that have been embellished for the entertainment aspect. But that foundation is there. So could you go into maybe some real-life incidents that influenced certain scenes in the book?
There's one main thing, actually. And, actually, there's two things, I should say. The one is when I was in elementary school, I actually had a stint where I felt completely alone. And so that is very much so touched on in the book itself with characters. And the other thing is I recently came to understand myself better than ever and to accept who I am, and what I believe personally is that Jesus came and died for me and my sins and all, and I am a daughter of God, and so I've come to fully believe and accept that, and I would say that is pretty present in the book as well.
People, again, we're here on the line with Marissa Jewel Hess. We're discussing her amazing book, Invincible. Part 1, Indestructible. Part 2, Indomitable. It's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but make sure you check out her personal site, mjewelhstories.com. Marissa, next question that I'd love to get into, and you kind of started to go into the character development a little while ago, but I want to take an opportunity and stay here for a second. One thing that I think is very common amongst a lot of the authors that we interview here on the network is they're talking about their characters developing and their stories developing and how things after a certain time just kind of take on a life of its own. Well, I want to ask you, Marissa, during this entire journey of writing and developing the characters and the storylines that we've come to see now in this final copy of Invincible, could you describe a moment where your characters or the storyline did just that? It took on a life of its own and it surprised even you as its creator?
It actually happened a couple times because so many rough drafts, as I call them, of this story, like the very copy of this story, I'm probably never going to show that to anybody because a ride. So, because I was focused more on like the plot points, and at the very end, I became more focused on the characters and how the characters themselves would respond to situations according to who I made them to be. And that definitely changed the course of the story a couple times.
Yeah.
And it helped fill in as well, which was really, really helpful.
Marissa, I love your title. Okay, there's something about it that's clear. It's clear, it's defined, it's strong, it's powerful. And I think these are all elements of your book and elements of your main protagonist. But I want to hear it from you. Talk to us about this title, Invincible, Indestructible, Indomitable. Great words. What made you choose them to be the representation for your book?
Well, the main title, Invincible, it was always Invincible. Like, from the get-go, I always refer to it as the Invincible story. Because the journey that the characters go through, they choose to be stronger because of it, not to be beaten down and give up. And that's assigned to me as invincibility. And then I always knew there were going to be two parts, and I wanted the two parts to focus on a certain aspect of invincibility based on what happens to the characters in those two parts. And I also wanted it all to start with the same IN, just because I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And so it works out pretty well.
Well, I'm right there with you. There's something about that alliteration that really just helps kind of put that extra nail in the coffin and really drive it home. I love that. Curiosity here. And as an artist myself, I understand that this next question may be hard to pinpoint, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to ask it anyway. What are some of your favorite parts of the book?
Well, I actually was able to get a map put into the book because it all takes place in a world that I created, and I have my own copy of the map that I made for myself as references as I was writing it, to make sure that all of the travel days and the places and directions stayed the same throughout the entirety of the story.
Yeah. And
I ended up using it so much that I was like, I want to share this with other people, because the stories I love, like Narnia and The Lord of the Rings, they have maps at the beginning of their books. And it's just really cool that I get to have that. So that's one thing that I'm just really, really happy about having. And I would say another part of the story or my book in general, that I really love would probably have to be in the second part. There is a stint where they have like a celebration type thing, and it's so fun, and I absolutely love it.
Marissa, let's get in our imagination a little bit here. My background is in filmmaking. My listening audience knows this, so I am constantly in my imagination. I love to dabble and play, but your book is incredible. It's an epic journey that your characters embark upon. And I'm sure just through the creation of it, because it's been in you for so long, you've probably already done this. But let's travel down this road and ask it. If you could enter the world of your book and you could choose any page to land on and actually live in, which page would you choose to land on and why?
Does it have to be one page specifically?
No, you would just love to go and live in the entire adventure, I think is what you're saying.
Well, maybe. The one main thing that was on my mind as you were asking that question is I have a landmark called the Dominic Forest, and it's this huge place that's full of like gigantic trees that everybody fears basically because it has jungle-like qualities, so it's very easy to get lost. And I would love to explore that. Like, that sounds absolutely amazing. And then there's this kingdom called Namodens in the book as well, and that's like a city kingdom where it's very populated and it's right next to the shore, so you see the ocean, and it's like a very beautiful and well-kept city with this incredible white castle. I would love to see that as well.
Yeah, people, I'm telling you, this, man, she mentioned some of her interests, right? In certain books and in films and things that she's watched. She mentioned Narnia. There's so many resemblances here that I see. This is something I can see on the screen. I'm telling you, people, be on the lookout for it. If it hasn't happened yet, I would not be surprised if Marissa has some production studios beating down her door, because this is something that we need to see on the screen. It starts with this book, though. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's mjewelhstories.com. The book is called Invincible. Head on over there today and pick up your copies. As I mentioned, entertaining to no end. You're going to get lost in this journey, but also that underlying message is something you can take to the bank as well. Something you can really flourish within. Head on over there, pick up copies today. While you're at it, get another copy to offer as a gift to someone else so that they can add it to their shelf as well. You can thank me later. This is something you want to get involved in. Marissa, this has been a true pleasure and absolute delight. Thank you again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it very, very much.